Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined here tonight in the studio by Miss Aliaa, the linguistic lecturer. Miss Ali, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Miss Ali, now, whenever we talk about youth empowerment and the importance played by the youth within our Egyptian society, we always refer to the past few years. I mean, 2016 was dubbed as the Year of the Youth. We've seen many national conferences taking place all over the country. We saw the World Youth Forum that was established in 2017 as well. And we're talking about really focusing on the youth, and it makes sense I mean, politically, economically, socially. They're over 60% of the Egyptian population. Now, looking back at it from, let's say, 2016 up until now, how would you evaluate the progression of really putting the youth into the forefront of the efforts and the focus by the country?
Yeah, by talking about youth, and exactly as you said, that we're having over 60% or over 65% of our population is of the youth. And this increased the need and this all the need for all the government together, for all the sectors to enhance and evolve their skills and evolve their energy and their power. They're having a huge power that we have to accomplish to go or to guide them into the right direction. By talking about the right direction, so we're having several major that we have to evolve the youth into, like politically, economically, socially, and in several sectors in the government, and by empowering them to lead, to be our future leaders. And to talk about this, we can highlight a very important of the President El-Sisi. He has said once that the youth are half of the present and all the future. And by talking about this, we can tell now that President El-Sisi was the only one who believed in the youth abilities, and they are capable to lead one day. And by talking about this part especially, we can say that President El-Sisi from now on and in the past few years, he has exactly launched many initiatives that leads the youth and taking power and taking benefits of their energy as well. Yeah.
Well, before talking about these initiatives, now you've mentioned the political sort of opportunities that lie in front of the youth. Now, we've seen a lot of the youth taking governmental positions, deputy governors as well, parliamentarians under the age of 45. And we've seen this happen year on year. How would you evaluate such an experience, such an experiment? The youth really taking up these leading positions, decision-making positions. Was it too big of a task? Was it not big enough? Do they want even more? Is the youth now maybe, are they all wanting to be part of the decision-making process, or are they also thinking economically, wanting to have their own startups, their own projects, their own businesses? Where do you see the youth trying to direct themselves towards?
Yeah, by talking about youth exactly and empowering them politically, we're having many examples to enhance our talk about that part. But we can say that before 2016, we have seen our youth were so frustrated and they full of anxiety, depression, and so on. And depressed to be on stage, to be or to have they already have the ability and they already have a voice that should be heard. And the President El-Sisi bet on that and invested on them. And what I see that's the most important investment that to invest in the youth. And we have seen something or one of the examples of the youth party coordination that have been held, or this goes under the empowerment of the political empowerment for the youth and many other future leaders that came up of this. Not only this initiative or not only this institution, we can highlight a very, very unique and important presidential institution, which is the National Training Academy. We have seen a lot of politicals and a lot of politicians that come of the National Training Academy. They are so professional future leaders. They are really having a huge or a unique position in the Egyptian government. And that was, we can say that it's outstanding. That had never happened before.
Yes.
We have never seen that youth is taking a lead. They having a power to lead, and we have to push them forward to this. Yeah.
Well, talking about the National Training Academy now, it really works on training the youth, be it from, after graduation, maybe. And we've seen, for instance, the news item today, the President directing the National Dialogue to talk about the educational process, really working on the preparation even before graduation and the rehabilitation, and trying to train or get the youth to go through vocational training depending on the needs of the job market. Do the youth now, even when they're studying, do they see some sort of a pathway towards a progress or a future, be it in the political arena? Do they feel secure that they will get some sort of education and training that will prep them for work in the real world?
Yeah. By talking about the training that comes before empowering them. And training before empowering, that was one of the most important slogans in the past few years, and especially from the Prime Minister as well. And this is one of the slogans of the NTA, especially, that they have to train the future leaders, which is especially, we're talking about the youth, and empowering them does not ever come before that we train them very well. The National Training Academy is providing them with several types of trainings, and I have many friends that are graduated and still post-graduated from the NTA, and they having a professional and outstanding trainings, and also they having their path into the leader or to be future leaders. We have never seen ministers or duty governors that come to be leaders. Those all leaders came from the NTA. So training them was a very outstanding, positive boom that happened and still happening right now. Yeah.
Well, you've mentioned some of the initiatives. Talking about the NTA, the PLP, talking about the political party. There are so many different sort of institutions or initiatives that would help train and direct a lot of the Egyptian youth, and they are considered relatively young. They haven't been there for 20, 30 years, so they are relatively young. How would you rate the performance, not of the youth, but the performance of these institutions, associations, programs, initiatives? What can be done to really work on enhancing them and make them more inclusive, making them all over the country? What can be done to really help boost these sort of initiatives to become a strong main axis for the Egyptian youth throughout the years?
Yes, Egypt, all the way long through history until now, has a unique and special positions of wealthy, talented people. And especially by talking about youth, we're having a great, unique, talented and gifted youth, and we have to take care of them and foster them to establish a future leaders who can hold the responsibility of the government and hold the responsibility of facing the different challenges that facing our state.
Yes.
You know that over the years and all the way long and over the future as well, we still and we will be facing also a lot of challenges. So we cannot face these challenges without the youth. So youth considered to be the block wall that can face any of the interfering challenges that comes into the state. By talking about this, especially this case, I want to highlight also by talking about empowering women.
Yes.
And this year, we can see that empowering women took place, and President El-Sisi have launched many initiatives to support this idea. Especially by talking about the NTA, they have launched many programs for women to empower them, not only the youth. The youth of the women as well will take place in the next few years.
Yes, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Ms. Aliaa has mentioned, it has been on the forefront of the government and its efforts to really highlight the role of the youth, especially as well for the women and people with special needs. They have been on under the spotlight for many years, and that really took place, I mean, since 2011, 2013, and up until now. Let's check out this report and we'll be right back.